Good evening, everybody. Written advance notice of this meeting was provided at least 48 hours ago. Such notice provided the time, date, and location of this meeting and included the agenda to the extent it was known at the time. Notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with law. Minutes of this meeting are being kept by the board secretary and will be made available promptly to any member of the public requesting them from the board secretary at 25A Lushan Lane, Hightstown, New Jersey. Minutes will be provided at cost and in accordance with board policy. Are there any board members present who believe this meeting to be in violation of the Open Public Meeting Act? There being none, we may proceed. In compliance with the fire code of the state of New Jersey, I call your attention to the emergency exits for this room, which are located over there and over there. And now, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Item C, approval of agenda. Having read the materials received, I move the agenda be approved as submitted.
Second.
Poll the board.
Ms. Berjoli?
Yes.
Ms. Concepcion?
Yes.
Ms. Drake?
Yes.
Ms. LaRusso?
Yes.
Mr. Laverty?
Yes.
Ms. Mahari?
Yes.
Ms. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Weeks?
Yes.
D, resolution executive session. Be it resolved that the East Windsor Regional School District may hold 2 closed sessions at this meeting. These closed sessions concern staffing, HIB report of July 14th, 2025, administrative introduction, PERC update, CSA evaluation, central administration 25-26 contracts. Minutes of these closed sessions will be made available to the public when the need for confidentiality no longer exists.
Second.
Poll the board, please.
Ms. Berjoli?
Yes.
Ms. Concepcion?
Yes.
Ms. Drake?
Yes.
Ms. LaRusso?
Yes.
Mr. Laverty?
Yes.
Ms. Mahari?
Yes.
Ms. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Weeks?
Yes. Up next, the superintendent report.
Good evening, everyone. Happy summer. Hopefully everyone's finding some time to relax and enjoy the first few weeks of July, which seems to be moving rather quickly. A few updates for tonight. I'll begin with a new appointment. On tonight's agenda, I'm pleased to share that I'm asking the board to approve the appointment of Mr. Christopher Sheridan to serve as the assistant principal of the Ethel McKnight Elementary School. Chris has previously served as a building administrator in Delran and Princeton, as well as serving as a teacher in Hoboken. As it's the summer, it's the time for kind of bridging learning within our school district. I'm going to highlight a few of the things that are happening within schools as it relates to summer learning opportunities for students. In addition to, obviously, we're hosting the Rice Camp as we usually do, and also the East Windsor Rec Camp. Rice Camp's at WCB, and the East Windsor Rec Camp's housed at PLD. In terms of some summer learning opportunities, we have our extended school year program, which is for our special education eligible students. That's to address regression and recruitment, to address that summer slide that students may encounter. That actually started on June 30th, and that's housed at GNR. Also, we have our Summer Academy for our rising first and second grade students over at GNR, and that's a Summer Academy for students entering first and second grade this fall with a focus on all things literacy. I'll stay with what's housed at GNR. We also have at GNR Rising 3-5 Summer Academy, and that's a comprehensive program designed to strengthen foundational skills, both math and language arts, in a collaborative and engaging setting. We also have our Gifted and Talented Rising 4th grade program. This program will have students working on resilience and peer collaboration using a design thinking approach that's also housed at GNR. Jumping across the street to Walter C. Black, that's where we're housing our K-5 bilingual and ESL summer learning opportunity, where students are addressing targeted reading skills in the summer lit camp, and ESL introduction to support their listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills. Transitioning over to our middle school, high school program, in addition to our music programming over at the middle school, MHK. Housed at MHK, we have our summer music. I'll start there, our rising 5 through 8 students. So our instrumental summer music program at Melvin H. Cripps Middle School offers an exciting opportunity for our young musicians to stay inspired and engaged throughout the summer. Also at the middle school, we have our Humanities Advancing program. That's for rising 8th grade students. We also have our Language Arts Summer Intervention program at the middle school for students in grades 6 through 9. And that is addressing targeted reading comprehension and writing development for students. Also at the middle school, we have our ESL program for rising 6th grade and 9th grade multilingual learners. This program is designed for the transition years to the middle school and high school. We also have some math support, rising 7th and 8th grade students. This is to kind of support our striving learners with both foundational skills as well as support for their transition for the upcoming school year. A little later this summer, July 28th, at the middle school, we'll have our pre-algebra and science enrichment programs happening at MHK. These are for students who have not yet met the requirements for advancement, but it gives students an additional opportunity to show that level of readiness for advancement as they transition into a new school year. So a lot happening. We're excited about summer learning opportunities for students. I will provide a reminder, this is on our current website, but we'll send something out. Each summer, we kind of set a date where families can access the parent portal to identify whether it's at the elementary level, K-5, teacher placement, and teacher assignments. That's always an exciting thing to find out who your child's teacher will be. For middle school, high school students, this is an opportunity to access the portal to view the schedules for the upcoming school year. And this is also a time to view the bus pass for the upcoming school year. So this date will be August 22nd, I believe it's a Friday. And that information will be available within the parent portal as of 9 a.m. A couple of updates regarding, just some summer facility projects. Each summer, we budget, appropriate funds to upgrade facilities within the school district, just to highlight, without getting into a significant amount of detail, but just to kind of highlight and share with the board what's scheduled to take place this summer. So we have at GNR, we have a new pre-K playground that will be installed. Obviously, we have our pre-K pod at GNR. This playground is kind of an age-appropriate, developmentally appropriate, inclusive playground that will be installed this summer. At Ethel McKnight School, we're engaged in a blacktop. The playground is being resurfaced. That was aged, and this is really kind of just an upgrade, and we're going to install some new basketball courts there as well. So that'll be a refreshing facelift for the exterior, but also a practical place for students to engage in, whether it's PE or recess. Melvin H. Cripps Middle School, this is a continuation. We've been identifying segments of MHK where our maintenance department are the ones who actually engage in some of the upgrades to those classrooms. So this has been happening probably for the past 4 or 5 years at this point. So we're kind of proud of the work of our maintenance department in terms of engaging in these projects in-house. Typically, we just engage in kind of replacing top to bottom in classrooms, flooring, casework, lighting, really makes those classrooms look brand new. So we're engaged in renovating the 200 wing at Melvin H. Krebs. Here at the high school, we are going to be upgrading some of our HVAC equipment, kind of in the area that serves the auditorium and some other surrounding hallways in that section of the building, and including the commons area. We're actually going to upgrade the commons area, give it somewhat of a facelift as well. Get rid of some of that paneling, that old school paneling we have there. So we're excited about that. We're actually, the auditorium is ready to go in terms of like this work. We're engaged in that process. And while we'll do that, we'll change some of the lighting in the auditorium as well, transition over to some LED lighting, which will kind of brighten that space. And then we also have our high school scoreboard replacement project that will take place this summer as well. Quick update regarding the Hightstown High School principal. So we've been in the process of attempting to identify, engaging in the search for the next principal of Hightstown High School. We actually have several candidates also scheduled to be interviewed this week. My goal is to recommend a final candidate at either the August 4th or August 25th board meeting. Quick update, in terms of just to ease this transition, to alleviate the need to have an interim principal, Mr. Vincent has agreed to delay his retirement for several months to ensure that. So he's on the agenda tonight to delay his retirement to October. Now, if we identify someone and there's a transition that doesn't require a 60-day exit from where they may be, then obviously he will leave before that. But this enables us to alleviate the need for an interim as we transition. I do want to highlight, connected to the high school, the summer bridge program that will be taking place actually this week. There'll be 2 sessions this summer. Obviously, this is an opportunity to ensure that our freshmen have a smooth transition to the high school. It's a half-day program that will provide an opportunity for them to experience a day in the life of a RAM. So students will gain firsthand insight into what it's like to be a student at Hightstown High School. And obviously, the goal is to really ease that transition and enhance a sense of preparedness as students enter the high school this fall. The 2 dates that they're scheduled for, the first one's this week, Thursday, July 17th, 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. The next session is available on Thursday, August 28th, and the same time, 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. Also, just quick mention of a new app. So we're engaging in a new app, a new and improved app, the EWRSD app. So I know that some of you may have the old app. We need you to transition. So we're going to engage in a marketing campaign this week. You'll receive a video, kind of a how-to video in terms of some of the highlights of the app, some of its capabilities, but also just how to engage in downloading it. Not difficult to do. If you go to our website currently, you'll see at the top of the page, the home page, it provides really just a reminder that we have an app, and just advising folks to go to the App Store or Google Play to download it. So the app will enable you to have direct access to the website. It will enable you to have information fed as it relates to notifications. And I just think it'll be an easier opportunity to navigate depending on what you want to receive information or where you would like to receive information from within our district. So look out for that. It will be shared with you this week. And with that, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. This time, first opportunity for board members' comments.
Hi, I have 2 things. On Saturday, I couldn't tell which team it was, but a bunch of the kids and the parents were doing a car wash at the bank across the street from McDonald's. Being that, it's been such a rainy week, maybe they want to consider coming back so they can have more people to make more money, right, for their fundraiser. All right, and then the second thing is, are there any talks about the Walter C. Black parking lot? You know, it's kind of small, and with all the staff, and they're always having issues with parking. Have we ever considered trying to increase their parking?
Yes, we've definitely considered that. So one of the options we've explored, working with our architects, SSP, we've identified a section of the field that kind of is adjacent to Morrison Avenue, and we were looking to sacrifice some of that field for some additional parking spaces, which is something that we still may consider doing. The other piece that we're looking at, which is somewhat more of a priority, not necessarily answering your question, is that we're also looking to address the drop-off pickup dynamic for Walter C. Black. And we're exploring some other ways in which we can reduce the traffic flow on Harron Avenue and the flow of traffic into that horseshoe and out of that horseshoe. So we're exploring some different options to see if we can potentially redirect that traffic. But in terms of parking, yes, that is definitely something that it's on our list. We've mapped out, I think it's an additional 50 spaces. So it's just a matter of us kind of prioritizing if we're looking to pursue that, where it fits in our budget priorities for the upcoming year or two. All right.
All right, thank you.
There being no further board comments, are there any first opportunity for public comment? There being none, we'll be moving into executive session. How long do you think?
Half an hour.
We'll be out for about a half an hour. Welcome back. Old business. Committee meetings. Sorry, my network connection is.
You want to report out on the committee meeting tonight? Or do it now? You might. You want to.
Did have a policy committee meeting tonight where we continued our audit of all the district policies. We did speak specifically about policy 7510, which is the use of school facilities. There was some clarification and updated language about particular spaces, renting particular spaces, as well as fees. And then 5850, which is social events and class trips, and we just reviewed some of that language, and we're going to make some edits to that policy. And that's all we did.
Thank you. And then we have on here a follow-up on the SSDS presentation. Were there any questions on that? Okay. There being none, second opportunity for board member comments.
I have such a random question. I'm so sorry. But the question is, with these buildings, during the summertime, some of the buildings are not as occupied, right? And with all the rain and stuff, what measures are taken to prevent bugs and rodents from entering and staying in the schools?
Yeah, obviously our team goes around and they're cleaning the buildings, all summer round. So right now, a lot of our buildings are in full swing. So at least, 3 of our buildings have summer programs going on and will have, until August. So that usually occupies a lot of the schools. But also after that, our teams are going in. And then they also do weekly checks. Really, I won't say it's the M word, they're looking for mold. So they go on a routine basis, inspect rooms. So if there were signs of something, they would, address it at that point.
All right, thank you.
Just to follow up on that, Paul, do they do air quality testing for that mold and spores? Because I know a long time ago, this time of year, as Gene was saying, is very moist outside, and a lot of outside air with mold was drawn into, especially the media center. And we had a big project cleaning up the library for months afterwards. How is that handled?
We don't necessarily test if there isn't, someone notices something or if there isn't a comment of an odor or something like that. It's kind of like you can't prove a negative. So we don't necessarily hunt for it, but obviously if someone makes some comments, and obviously with the visual inspections, we're on the lookout for it. Yeah, so Mark was asking about, what we do. The big thing over the summer really for the mold is really having good HVAC and really running it. So it's not, we don't turn our HVAC off just because everyone leaves, because that's going to invite the mold. So it's really important that you hit a certain temperature setting. We're set for 71 across the district, and really as best as possible, try to maintain that throughout the summer. Keep doors open so you keep circulation going. A lot of people, think you just close the doors and walk away, and that's usually the big inviting for mold. So keep the doors open, keep the circulation going, make sure your HVAC is operating, and then having, some good quality inspections on a regular basis over the summers. You're really the best preventive measures I think a school can take.
I have a question, non-mold related. Did all of the schools get the TVs like this, and how are they being utilized in this? I know that we use them, but during the course of the regular school year, how are the schools using the TVs?
So to answer your first question, the answer is yes. But we just finished installing across all schools, so we got somewhat delayed here. The game plan here was to kind of use this in a quasi, it's threefold. One, Because these are meeting areas, obviously we will use them to support instruction where feasible. We also use it to support professional development opportunities. During lunches, we also wanted to use it as, we tried that on for size this past year, and we need to enhance it. Kind of leveraging it as kind of a, whether it's a public service announcement dynamic, reminders, showcasing footage from whether it's a musical, an athletic event, something within the school setting. So that's primarily how we're looking to use it. The areas where we've placed it at the middle school is also cafeteria oriented, and also similar structure at the elementaries, although it's smaller, not as many. But really, it's to serve as some visual enhancements, whether it's related to, like I said, these are larger spaces where we're going to either gather teachers, students, and we want to have some visual reinforcement that we can leverage in terms of utilizing the space. So what we're looking to do right now is part of some of the concern we had at the high school, which is really kind of our beta test. We had some software issues because we were supposed to be able to, for example, show different things on different screens, right? And some of that wasn't always playing out the way that we wanted. I think we've figured out some of those hiccups. And I think for this upcoming school year, we'll be more poised to kind of attack that in a way that, since we've tried it on for size here, we can leverage it more effectively.
It would be great if maybe, even if it was a trial, maybe some of the video production
That's
type
definitely part of it.
courses could use them or try some stuff out.
Definitely.
Are there any second
Yes,
opportunity for?
I have a question. I think we were supposed to get our presentation on the current assessment results. Do you know when that is scheduled for? The kids just took the test like a couple of months. When we'll get a presentation?
Well, are you referring to the STAR assessment?
Yes.
So we indicated that it wouldn't necessarily be a presentation. We said we provide an update.
Okay.
So you can turn your mic off, please. Yeah, so I did share an update with the board a couple of weeks ago. Did you get that, Security? Okay.
I get it, but I was just wanted to know if there was any summary thing to just go over what we hit,
Yeah,
what
if
we
you have,
missed.
if you have
and-
some questions, you could definitely pose those. We have some additional assessments that we're reviewing, for example, like our access testing, the NJ SLA data will be in shortly. So there'll be some additional, and we're going to actually do a presentation next month regarding some of the state-driven data. So the data that I shared with the board was really a look over a year in terms of cohort data, really from May 2024 through June 2025. So, it's pretty self-evident the areas where we've seen the growth and also the instructional reading level growth as well. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to ask me.
Yeah, because we were going to wait for those results to, refine our plan. What's the next plan to alleviate the issue of our numbers still being about the same or dropping? We were going to try a different approach because for a few years we've been trying to have a game plan here, and I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I don't think the numbers are dropping based on that STAR assessment data. No, but we've got some areas of concern. Middle school math is one.
Right.
But there are definitely some highlights on there within pockets for some noticeable growth in terms of where students have been within a year. So we definitely will be talking about that. I'll be sharing with the board next month. Obviously, our goals are established, but in terms of some areas of focus that we want to address as it relates to continuing to focus on goal area 1, student learning, student-centered learning. So that definitely will be something that we'll focus on next month. All right?
Thank you.
Okay.
Second opportunity for public comments. There being none, motion to approve routine items by exception.
I move that the board approve the routine agenda items as submitted. A, staffing, 7/14/2025. B, ESS agreement, substitute staffing. C, administrator contract approvals, 2025-26. D, NJ Stride shared services agreement, 2025-26. E, HIB report from June 9th, 2025. F, professional services for students. G, approved PLD surplus property. H, approve travel and related expenses. I, approve HHS overnight trip to Blairstown Center, Princeton, New Jersey, August 2025. J, technology recycling batch number 58. K, approve MHK and HHS fall sports schedules for 2025-26 school year. L, approve 2025-26 field trip locations. M, co-op purchases. N, board meeting minutes for May 12, 2025. O, executive session board minutes for May 12, 2025. P, board meeting minutes for June 9th, 2025. Q, executive session board minutes, June 9th, 2025. R, Mercer Ocean Monmouth Subgroup, BCIPJIF MOM, MOM. S, approve request to use the competitive RFP process. T, parent transportation contract 2025-26 school year. U, transportation contract renewals. V, professional services contract, GZA Geoenvironmental Inc., change order number 1. W, revised chart will approval. X, approval of Hightstown High School auditorium HVAC renovation, change order number 1. Report of the board secretary and financial report, May 2025. Z, expense and transfer reports of school monies report for May 2025. And double A, bill list of July 14th, 2025.
Second.
Pull the board.
Ms. Brijoli?
Yes?
Ms. Concepcion?
Yes.
Ms. Drake?
Yes.
Ms. LaRusso?
Yes.
Mr. Laverty?
Yes.
Ms. Mahari?
Yes.
Ms. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Weeks?
Yes. At this time, we do have a second executive session regarding the CSA evaluation. We will be adjourning from there.